Hello, everyone. Welcome to another podcast by Ubrik. This is going to be a three-part limited series because obviously all of there is a lot of uncertainty, and I really hope that all of you are keeping well and safe. And to start off this episode today, we have a special guest, none other than Shiaf, our Chief Operating Officer at Ubrik. So, hi Shiaf, how are you?
Hey Sujivan, I'm good. What's up? What about you?
All good, all good. It's nice to see you here and, right across me. And when was the last time you came on a podcast?
I honestly can't remember. I think it's almost been a year and a half maybe that I've recorded a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't ask me why. I'm going to tell you anyways. So basically, initially me and Monash used to do a lot of content. Since you and Imran, who's behind the camera, joined, you guys have been doing a lot of content, yeah? So naturally the business started growing, the team started growing. So initially me and Monash were all in founder and operator mode. Now we have more guys, and you guys have been pulling out a lot of content and events and content. So, but answering the question, we are definitely in a unique time. Special time, special circumstances. Like you said, there is a lot of uncertainty, people are confused. So, one of the core ideas, like we are seeing from the leadership in the country and a lot of big organizations, is this is the time for leaders across the organizations or companies. So you have the peacetime leaders or CEOs or whatever you may call it, and you have the wartime CEOs and the wartime leaders. So this is the time, for example, I'm not saying there is a war going on, but definitely there is a lot of situations. Concerns are there. Yeah, let's be, conflict is going on. So this is the time where you have to come and try and do your best. So this is why I'm
Absolutely.
here. So
thank you, Shiaf. That again brings back to the original question. These are uncertain times. Obviously, a lot of people have mixed thoughts about how to go. And honestly, this is also about giving our perspective as a business and what we are thinking at this time. To kind of share what we as a business are thinking about. So that's the whole reason we are here, and glad to have you here.
So you know what, let me turn this around. Okay, I know I'm the guest, but I'm going to ask you a question. So see, I'm born and brought up here. Now Suji, you are somebody who's recently come to Dubai.
Yes.
And one interesting fact about Sujivan is, in the whole of the Ubrik team, Sujivan is the only one, like he comes from Sri Lanka. Now people who are aware of the history of Sri Lanka as a country, they've gone through some really rough patches. Yeah. So Sujivan, tell me, like, what is your POV, like based on your experiences? I think you've seen, witnessed a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how you flip this on me, but thanks. Yeah, and I think I've quite a lot and seen a lot. So, as Shiaf said, I come from Sri Lanka. I'm a newbie to Dubai, especially I came to Dubai in 2022. Yeah, so if you look at Sri Lanka as a country, we've been through a 30-year civil war. And then, of course, we've been through one of the worst attacks, the Easter bombings, which was like another crisis that happened. And then, of course, the 2022 crisis.
Let me just stop you there, Suji. Let me just ask you, are you telling me these interceptions that we are hearing, you still sleep like a baby? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I don't want to give my opinion here, but this is not new to me. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And there is worse that I've seen. Yeah. So 2022, Shiaf, I just want to tell you what actually pushed me to come here. Honestly, I had no clue that I'll be sitting here in Dubai and talking to you in front of an audience. I'm grateful for that, of course. But in 2022, Sri Lanka went through the worst political crisis in our history. Right. So I was doing well. I was heading marketing for one of the biggest financial companies. They were really strong. Literally, we could, run our business for 3 years without any issue, even with all this crisis. But still, I had a lot of money. I was doing well in terms of everything. But there was a situation where we could not find our basic requirements in a country. Like, I was standing in a fuel queue, right, to get 15 liters of fuel for my car. For more than 3 days.
I remember you telling me this, even when you go to the supermarkets, you had the money.
Absolutely. So things were out of stock, obviously, because, there was a foreign exchange crisis. We didn't have enough foreign currency. not like the one we have right now. Yeah. So we didn't have enough foreign currency to import the necessities. So we had money, local currency was available, but you couldn't get the day-to-day requirements. So that was a challenge.
Comparing to that, what is your experience now? Now, surprisingly, guys, in Sri Lanka, still, as we record this, what is the date today? 30th of March.
Yep.
There is a fuel shortage
Definitely,
in Sri Lanka.
definitely. And I think this time it's all around the world. Sri Lanka is no exception. But still, I mean, it's even worse. The day the problem started here, the day news was out that, there is war between Iran and, the other countries in the Middle East, Sri Lanka already started rationing.
What is your experience now? Now you live in Sharjah, right?
100%. Let me share that. So, life goes on for me without any problem. I still, go out, do our shopping, take our kids to the park. We do our morning walks with my wife, So we live very close to the Sharjah airport. I could also see a lot of flights take off. Definitely, I have to give it up to the UAE government, kind of, keep everything running. Yeah. So I have not seen any. I mean, of course, people are scared. There are interceptions going on. I mean, we wake up to the alerts in the middle of the night, which is very unusual for us in the UAE, obviously. But
I mean, in Sri Lanka, they don't even give you any notification.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have any notification. Yeah. So the moment you see a blast, then okay, it's a blast. So, but here things are very different. Everybody is well informed. Yeah, and everybody is taken care of. Yeah, that's all I could say. But life is still going on as usual.
No, I mean, I remember you telling me somebody in your network reached out to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was that about?
So, okay, because obviously there were multiple calls I was getting back from home,
I think all of us have been
friends,
getting this. Yeah.
family.
All of us have been getting this. Yeah.
100%. So, one of my cousins called me. He was, sharing his concerns about the ongoing situation. I think he had seen the blast at the airport terminal where the fuel, terminal was on fire and all that. So it was a lot of concern for people back at home, and he was asking me, like, are you guys safe? Why don't you plan? Then when I asked him, how he's doing and, what's the situation at home, I kind of, felt the conversation turned towards more empathy towards him.
I sent him some stats,
yeah,
if I'm not wrong.
Of course, it's the missiles, the number of incoming missiles, how many were intercepted and how much UAE has been spending.
And day by day, it's been reducing as well.
Exactly. Day by day, it has been reducing. So after he saw the stats, I think he felt bad for himself. I mean, no offense, but this is the reality, right? So obviously, life is much more safe and sound. Here, that's and my view.
This is one of the things for beat our clients, beat our wider network who's seeing this. People who are in Dubai, their reality is different versus the people who are not in Dubai. So I was speaking to somebody who's into the real estate industry, has a massive portfolio, is a developer. So he told me something very interesting. He told me every country that has lost money to UAE, for example, every country where citizens, let's say from the UK, from India, from US, from all these countries where HNIs or people move their money to Dubai for a better life, these are the countries they're going crazy on the news.
Definitely.
Yeah, like you must have seen some of the news. There are things that are not happening, they're actually showing as well, yeah? But tell me something, in your network, are there people who have left?
Honestly, not a single one of them. But I want to now ask you this question. Has anybody in your network left? And also, I know that you are a person who has been born and brought up here. You've never seen a civil war, I'm sure about that. So tell me, what's your POV on this entire thing?
I mean, the only civil war I saw is Avengers Civil War. That's the movie I've seen. I've heard about it. But honestly, there is no civil war here.
Yeah.
Okay. Unlike Sri Lanka. And even the situation currently that we are in, first of all, the only war that I've heard of is back in early 1990s. Okay, I was very young, maybe 2 or 3 years old, which means you can guess my age. Okay, but I remember my dad telling me, it was intense, but still life went on. And if you actually, back then there was no internet or Google, but if you actually look how the economy came back, even then an economy took a slip. It went down, but it came back. Yeah, I was 3 years old. But what I remember even more specific is 2008 crash.
Yep.
I remember the day, for example, I think I was in Ajman, I was in a bus, I was heading to the university, and in the radio, 103.8, they just said that Lehman Brothers crashed. First of all, I did not know who Lehman Brothers were at then. And one of the economic students, he was in the bus, okay, he says, we are done. The world is done, Dubai is done.
Okay.
Now from 2008 we all went through this phase.
Absolutely.
Until 2000, let's say 18 or 19, we can see what happened.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, people who came to Dubai after 2013, 14, they don't even remember this.
Yes.
People don't even recall.
Yeah.
So this is your first indicator, for example, how, I mean, for people who are wondering, what I'm trying to get to is how Dubai always has
Bounces
come back.
Yeah.
I mean, this, if you type this Dubai has ended, this is the end of Dubai, if you actually Google in the last 10, 15 years, some of the particular media outlets is all what they say.
Yep.
So from 2008, we actually survived.
Yep.
And what came next? Came the COVID. In 2020.
Yep.
2020 was not just a unique experience for Dubai.
Yeah.
It was for the whole world. Even then, everybody said, now surprisingly for people who don't know, 2008 was the year Ubrik started. Yeah.
During the
During the peak
global
of
crisis.
Yeah. During the peak of recession, Ubrik started and kind of we thrived. That is when we had one of the biggest developers in Dubai. We were the ones to introduce digital to them. Back then, it was very new. So coming back to 2020, again, people said the world is stopping. Everything is going to stop. Guess which was the only country which was open at that time, where the whole world was under lockdown? Dubai.
Dubai. Yeah.
And we lost 60-70% of our clients. And back then, Ubrik was just 12 people or less than 12 people. Today, we are close to 27, 26, 27. Now, from 2020 till 2026, our clients have grown, the team has grown.
100%. And UAE also has grown. Just let's talk about some statistics. I was saying that, over the last decade, the growth in real estate transactions was up from 250 billion AED to 750 billion AED. Yeah. That's the growth in the last decade. So just some stats.
Yeah. And this is what I'm trying to get at is also whenever there is a big crisis, the way Dubai handles it, UAE handles it is completely different.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, I think we thrive in situations like this.
Definitely.
So all the fearmongers or people who are losing their minds saying everything is done, I think these are the people who are always here for the short term.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we are here after surviving the 1991 Gulf Wars, 2008, 2020. So I mean, I don't want to say Ubrik has specialized in surviving. I mean, we are battle tested, literally. So even after 2020 is when, because of Dubai was open, this is how we ended up having a collaboration with, we met Torio.
Okay, yes.
Okay. These guys came to Dubai because entrepreneurs and business owners, they are constantly looking for opportunity.
Absolutely.
So even now in Dubai, when a lot of people are losing their minds, the smart guys, the people who really have a plan, they're actually trying to make the best of the situation. And if you actually look, when you go outside, yesterday, for example, today is 30th. I think yesterday or day before, there was a horse race. Yeah,
horse race, in Maidan.
From Sheikh Mohammed to Fazza, everybody was there as well.
Yes.
So the indication is, even if the whole world stops, Dubai and UAE is still going to be operational.
And also one more example is, obviously we had a lot of rains over the last 1 week.
Yesterday,
And I was here in 2024
when the rain
when there was a similar rain.
Yeah,
and I also personally know that you've been running one of the largest rescue operations in Sharjah. Yeah,
so
especially during this.
Yeah, I was part of it,
group. Yeah, so what's your thoughts on that?
So honestly, that was way worse.
Yeah.
But this time, in between this conflict, we had the worst rains.
Yep.
A lot of flooding. But if you see, Dubai was completely, I would not say 100%, but 80-90%, the roads were still open.
Yep.
And even, I live in the border of Dubai and Sharjah. Sharjah turned things around, within 2 to 3 days. Today, I think by today, most of the things...
Everything is clear. Even I came from home,
Yeah, this is... So, see, the point is, again, Dubai has invested, I think, 8 billion or 80 billion?
$8 billion
dollars
on a drainage project.
Drainage system. So,
exactly.
Personally, I think the resilience Dubai has, and each time a conflict like this comes, Dubai just goes more, they double down even further. Yeah. So, I think the rain went and things are kind of,
So I think for everybody watching this show, the $1 million question right now, is this the time to leave? No.
Leave where? Leave from office or?
From Dubai.
So, is it time to leave Dubai, or you mean is it time to pack up? So, before I answer this question, right, I will, there is a quote that comes to mind. So, I'm going to read this quote out. Many of you will catch where the quote is from. But for the people who don't know, I will tell you who this quote. So, every morning in Africa, like a gazelle wakes up, it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed.
Yeah.
And every morning when a lion wakes up, it knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve. It doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When you wake up, you better start running.
We all know.
Okay, so this quote is from none other than Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, okay, the ruler of Dubai. Now, why I said I'll say this quote, this is the mindset that Dubai is on.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So, if there is war, conflict, pandemic, lockdown, whatever you can think of, this is the mindset people, the leadership of Dubai is in. So currently, this conflict is happening. I'm sure there is a desert or some jungle. Over there, the animals have not stopped their life. They are still running. So, answering the question, no. So this is the time to actually stay put. Okay? This is the time to, in fact, to get more aggressive. And this is the time to suit up, and thankfully, we don't have to wear physical armor, but what armor that we need is the mental armor. So in short, I mean, as Ubrik, as a business, as Shiaf, individually, I think, no, this is not the time. This is the time to stay put. I mean, rest, it's on people, it's their individual. But as a government, as a country, as Dubai, I think we are going to come back even more stronger.
Thank you, Shiaf. I mean, thanks for that strong POV. And indirectly, I think Shiaf is saying, okay, after this shoot, go get your email, start working. So I'm going to definitely, get on with my day.
That's exactly.
But jokes apart, definitely, I think out of this entire podcast, one thing is very clear. Resilience is the answer to everything that we are seeing, guys. So this is not the first time Dubai is showcasing this resilience, and all of us know it. So let's go on, face this and come out stronger. Stay safe, and we'll catch you up in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.